Hello, we are the Real Programming channel. My name is Andrei. This is our seventh lesson. I greet you. We will talk about element soup and no dumb questions. Let's go. Whoa, I never knew the browser could display so many different characters. There are a ton of different characters and languages of the Unicode org site. Be careful, your browser will only display all these characters if your computer or device has appropriate fonts installed. So while you can probably count on the basic entities from the 3W3 schools touchpoint.com page to be available on any browser, there is no guarantee that you can display all these entities. But assuming you know something about your users, you should have a good idea of what kind of foreign language characters are going to be common on their machine. You say that and is special and I need to use the entity and done in its place, but to type in any entity, I have to use and so far they say their entity, though do I need to type and gt? No, the reason and is special is precisely because it is the first character of the any entity. So it's perfectly fine to use and in your entity names just not be itself. Just remember to use and anytime you type in an entity and if you really need an and in your content, use the and instead. When I looked up the entities at the 3W3, it says schools come. I enticed that each entity has a number 2. What do I use that for? You can use either the number like and hash 100 or the name of an entity in your HTML. They do the something thing. However, not all entities have names, so in those cases, your only choice is to use the number. Crack the location challenge exercise. Dr. Evil, in his quest for world domination, has put up a private web page to be used by his evil henchmen. You just received a snippet of intercepted HTML that may contain a clue to his whereabouts. Given your expected knowledge of HTML, you've been asked to crack the code and discover his location. Here's a bit of the text from his home page. Look on the Sublime text. There's going to be an evil Benjamin meetup next month at my underground layer in. Hint, visit 3W3 as schools context ref entities as and or type in the HTML and see what your browser displays. Oh, element soups. So, element, whenever you want to make a link, you will need the a element. Use this element Q for short quotes, like to be or not to be, or no matter where you go, there you are. Just give me a paragraph, please. The P element. The quote element is used for displaying code from the computer program. Li is form items list like chocolate, syrup. If you need an ordered list instead, use the O element. Need to display a list, say a list of ingredients in a recipe or a to-do list, use the U element. This content tells the browser that the content is a date or time or both. Use the element to mark up text you'd say in a different voice, like if you are emphasizing a point. Strong. Use this element to mark up text you want emphasized with extra strange. Use this element for formatted text when you want the browser to show your text exactly as you type it. Avoid element for making line breaks. This is image. This is an element for including an image like a photo in your page. This is for lengthy quotation, something that you want to highlight as longer passage, say from a book. Here are a bunch of elements you already know and a few you don't. Remember, half the fun of HTML is experimenting. So make some files of your own and try this out. Broken Page is perfect for my tip, and it really does a good job of providing an online version of my journal. You got the HTML well organized too, so I should be able to add new material myself. So when can we actually get this off your computer and onto the web? Bullet points. Plan the structure of your web pages before you start typing in the content. Start with a sketch, then create an outline, and finally write the HTML. Plan your page starting with the large block elements and then refine with line elements. Remember, whenever possible, use elements to tell the browser what your content means. Always use the element that most closely matches the meaning of your content. For example, never use a paragraph when you need a list. P, Blackwater, all, you, and Lee are all block elements. They stand on their own and are displayed by default with a line break above and below the content within them. Q and M are inline elements. The content in these elements flows in line with the rest of the content in the containing element. Use the BR element when you need to insert your own line breaks. BR is a void element. Void elements have no content. A void element consists of only one tag. An empty element has no content, but it does have both opening and closing tags. A nested element is an element contained completely within another element. If your elements are nested properly, all your text will match correctly. You make an HTML list using two elements in combination. Use all with Lee. For an ordered list, use you with Lee for an unordered list. When the browser displays an ordered list, it creates the numbers for the list, so you don't have to. You can build nested list within list by putting all or you elements inside your Lee elements. Use character entities for special characters in your HTML content. Exercise HTML cross. It's time to give your right brain a break and put their left brain to work. All the words are HTML related and from this chapter. Next exercise, solution. Here's the rework of Tony's Lao Tzu quote. Using the Q element, did you give your solution a test drive? We added the Q opening tag before the start of the quote and the Q closing tag at the very end. Notice that we also removed the double quotes. And here's the test drive. Okay, it doesn't look any different, but don't you feel better now? Here's another list from Tony's journal: cell phone, iPod, digital camera, and a protein bar. You'll find it in his June 2 entry. This is an unordered list of items. Make these changes in your journal HTML. File 2, does it look like you expected? First, the previous paragraph, start the unordered list. Put each item into an Lee element and the unordered list, and we need to start a new paragraph. B, a browser solution. Let's talking about mistakes in exercise. Missing head closing tag. This. Missing H1 closing tag. This. P and Q are not listed properly. The P tag should come after the Q tag. We have a closing M where should have a closing Lee tag. Here is a closing P that doesn't match any opening P tag. We mix it up the closing H2 and H3 tags on these headings. We start and all list, but it's matched with the closing U tag, whereas missing all our closing tags. This doesn't make the opening all tag all at the start of the listable. Here's our missing head tag by where I'm missing a closing HTML tag. So exercise solution. Who am I? A bunch of HTML elements in full custom are playing a part game Who am I? They gave you a clue. You tried to guess who they were based on what they said. Tonight's attendees queued a few of the charming HTML elements you've seen so far showed up for the party. It looks like in line, but I can wrap block elements, not just text. So depending on the context, I can be either in line or block. Stamped BR is in limbo, a land between block and line. It doesn't create a line break, but doesn't break a bit of text into two separate blocks like if you had two P elements. We haven't talked about this in detail yet, but yes, the image is in line. Give it some thought and we'll come back to this is chapter 5. Exercise solution, building blocks, HTML crossword, cross, and crack the location challenge. You could have looked up each entity or typed their name. In either case, the answers looks like Detroit. So, and this is our 7th lesson over. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Please put likes, share with friends. Please comment. Eat bananas, chocolate, and nuts. Drink more water for the effective work of our brains. Bye.